we have the 4-hour price chart for ARM Holdings, stock ticker ARM. So as we can see here, the stock is attempting to form a bit of a base here after falling to near-term lows at 96.67. We will be looking at this recent price trend higher to determine whether or not this is really a valid price move and whether or not we can likely continue the stock to continue moving in this direction, in the upward direction going forward. So if we drill into this price chart a bit, we can see, let me just move the ticker reading here. So if we move into the price chart a bit, we can see that these recent price lows were posted during the August 5 trading session. As this has happened, we have seen a fairly significant movement to the top side, and we have already broken through some important Fibonacci resistance levels in the process. Specifically, what I'm talking about here would be the move from roughly 188.73, and then this, of course, extends down to the August 5th lows of 96.67. And if we're looking at this as the dominant price move most recently, we can see that the stock did face a bit of resistance into this 23.6% Fibonacci zone, coming in at roughly 118.74. But we have since broken above there, along with the 20-period exponential moving average on the 4-hour price chart. So overall, this is the most significant bullish move that we have seen recently. This move to the top side coming in at roughly just below 119. So as we can see here, currently, the stock price itself is starting to run into a bit of resistance once again. And this is not surprising because we now have a series of technical price levels that are sort of containing prices in this area and could limit gains here going forward. So just to take a step back here and gain an assessment of where we were traveling before, we should understand that further back, this longer term price move coming in from the lows of 85.61 and then extending to the prior highs coming in at this 188 level, we can see that the stock did break through all of its major Fibonacci retracement levels. This move lower was created by this price low on August 5th. However, this was probably what should be considered to be a false breakout to the downside. Why do I say this exactly? The reason mostly that I would suggest that this green candle down here and this ultimate price low at 96.67, the reason I would suggest that this is a false breakout to the downside largely stems from the fact that we really didn't see a price close below the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. If we had seen a daily or weekly close below this level, this would have been a much more bearish event, and more than likely we would have had to have retraced this entire bull move all the way back down to 85.60. So this would have been a very, somewhat catastrophic event here, because essentially what this would have suggested would have been that this entire move now needs to retrace itself, retest the bottom, and then determine whether or not 85.60 is actually a valid support zone. However, since we didn't get a daily close below here or a weekly close below here, the reversal to the top side was then the most likely scenario. So as we can see here, this green candle did not finish red. We post these lows here at 96.67, but ultimately the candle does post with a higher close relative to the open. So this creates a green candle, and this does suggest that the close is now back above the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. So in some sense, we didn't really break here to the downside. Technically, it was broken. And if you were long the stock, you would have had some unrealized losses through this area. But on a closing basis, this price break really didn't occur to the downside, at least not on a closing basis. So the result here is not completely surprising. We did see some upward price movements because we have to view this 78.6% Fibonacci retracement as holding. We can't view this as a broken price level. It's a false breakout to the downside. So more currently, what we're looking at here is this move higher. But the main problem that I'm seeing at current levels is the fact that these price candles are really starting to shrink in size. So what does this mean? This does tell us that ultimately there's much more indecision in the market. The forceful price moves that we were seeing more recently, as in with this August 5 reversal area, have started to slow down and decrease in upside momentum. We're seeing smaller candle sizes. We're even seeing some doji patterns here on the candlestick formations. And all this is coming into contact with the 38% Fibonacci retracement of this prior declining move. So, I haven't even mentioned yet the moving averages. So you can see that, you can see that there's this orange zone here. There's a line here. This is the Fibonacci retracement zone, and we're having trouble breaking through here. In addition to that, we have 3 exponential moving averages resting right above here. The 200 period exponential moving average is the blue line. This is coming in direct contact with this orange zone here. And this does suggest that there's an alignment here between the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement and the 200 period exponential moving average. So it's not surprising here to see that the stock is running into some headway, given the fact that we have seen a fairly strong reversal here higher, and we're now running into a lot of technical resistance coming in at the same level. So if you're currently long this stock, what you would really need to see is a break above this 139.20 level, because this marks the 100 period exponential moving average on the 4-hour price chart. If you were to see this area break above here, the stock would then be trading above its entire exponential moving average cluster. If that occurs, we can then start to expect these moving averages to start to slope in the positive direction. So we're already starting to see that on the shorter term moving averages. As you can see here, this yellow line here is posting in the upward direction and is moving higher. So the trend here is starting to develop on the shorter term timeframes. We have not yet seen this develop on the longer term timeframes. For example, this 50 period EMA is declining quite rapidly. So if we do see a break above here, that will start to change, and we will start to see a rollover here in the 50 period exponential moving average. One other area that I should point out here is the activity that is seen in the relative strength index indicator reading. As we can see here, this stock really does behave in terms of its relationship to this indicator reading. In cases where we have seen upside momentum, those prior trends tend to continue right until these indicator reading trends start to change. Once that occurs, we start to see major movements then in the other direction. So as we can see here, this prior upside trend momentum started to break, and then this is when this major downside price move started to occur. One thing that we should note here is the fact that we're seeing a new break here. We're seeing another break here with this current upside move in the RSI after falling into oversold territory. So this is a bullish event. I mean, if we're looking at the indicator reading itself, this does tell us that the stock is moving out of oversold territory. You're breaking above a prior downtrend line, which suggests that prior downtrend momentum has run its course, and the relative strength index is also moving above its exponential moving average. So the indicator reading does suggest that a move to the top side is imminent, and I do expect to start to see a break of this resistance level relatively soon. So here's the current market analysis for ARM Holdings, stock ticker ARM. Our High Value Trading Strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.